Hello and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while since I taste tested Balisong lubes, and no, I didn't die. No, there weren't any adverse effects. I just got busy between work and Destiny 2 having a new season launch and traveling and enjoying the last couple months of nice weather in North Dakota, which officially ended as of today with some light snowfall. I didn't record. So I'm really kind of behind the ball on this. But today we're looking at the Nabalis and Will Hirsch collaboration, Vulp. This is the older version of the Vulp. The current version has a couple of little upgrades that we'll get into later, but this is the original version. And there's some footage of me flipping. That's not just my hands. It's not the first person footage that I normally do. It's more of a full body shot. And my expression is just the worst during that. I look dead serious. I'm not angry. I'm not mad to be flipping. I just was focusing on trying to make my flipping look good. I've been working on improving. Is that the thing we're supposed to do? Improve? So I've been working on improving. So I had a little bit more concentration while doing some of this stuff in there. And I was trying to get all the lighting set. So it turns out that I need to work on smiling and making faces while I flip rather than just that. So anyways, with that out of the way, let's get into talking about the Vulp. The Vulp is honestly, it's decent. It is not my favorite thing I've ever flipped. I'm not going to pretend like it is. I know I have a tendency to get really positive in my reviews and just absolutely gush about things, which does remind me, tangent alert already. One of the new videos I'm working on currently will in fact be me essentially reacting to my old reviews. And by that I mean I'm going to go through each old review, talk about the knife. I already talked about the knife, and essentially give my thoughts now that I've had a little bit more time flipping and kind of looking back and without the rose-tinted glasses or without the excitement of a brand new knife. So we're going to be looking at those, and I'll probably have some adjusted kind of thoughts and feedback on those. So first things first though, we're talking about the Vulp. Like I said, it comes in really great little packaging. This is just the front of the box. I absolutely love the Flippin' Fox logo there. Will I edit that out? No, I won't. Absolutely love the Flippin' Fox logo, Will Hirsch's logo, Nabalis. Came folded in here in this little thing. And it comes with a Torx bit, a little Torx Allen wrench thing, additional pivots, additional washers, and additional bushings, which is really, really solid. It also comes with blue thread locker, Loctite, and the new version, for lack of a better word, also comes with Super Loop, which is really, really handy as a starting point. The Balisong itself has channel aluminum handles, which are solidly made, and it's got a 420C steel blade. This is the bottle opener variant, which is a bottle opener. It works. It's got the logo on one side, Nabalis on the other. It's got these nice little cutouts. It's a nice Bowie pattern shaped blade. That would not have cut me, you know, grab the back of the spine. Not great, but still. The handles are really nice. I do like the handles. The overall weight of the Balisong is pretty solid. It's got a little bit of a handle bias, but nothing too terribly wild. But they are actually, despite being, you know, made in China aluminum handles, some of the best feeling aluminum handles in my opinion. I really, really love the way these grooves feel and the cutouts, and the grippiness is surprisingly good. Normally I have an issue with Balisongs with aluminum handles, even Squid Industries like Cracker Rackin', for example, being a little bit too slippery for me. I don't know if it's because I've got greasy hands or dry hands or what it is, but I typically find aluminum just to be kind of unpleasant to handle when flipping, and I really haven't had any issues with the Vulp. It honestly doesn't slip too hard, and it feels good. Aesthetically, it's a pretty nice look. I don't love the way that jimping looks, but it is some really aggressive jimping. You can't really tell that I'm not holding this very tightly, but I mean, it works. It's really, really aggressive jimping. but is rounded enough that it doesn't feel uncomfortable, but it definitely does stop the sliding. The downside is, of course, that it aesthetically looks a little bit goofy in my opinion, but it is really functional for what it does. As you can hear too from the clicking, it's a loud balisong. It sounds kind of like pretty much every other aluminum balisong in my opinion. It's, again, not like my all-time favorite noise. It's adequate, but it does work. The handle swing is really nice, really good and free. Mine has a little bit of play in it, but it's really nothing too terrible. There's no tap at all. So I've seen issues with the bushings apparently, especially on the original launch ones, having some issues and not being tuned as perfectly. And I haven't had any issues. I haven't tried to take mine apart yet, but the T8 screws are no longer the case. They're now T10 in Vulp. So that was going to be a critique of mine, and I don't have to worry about that now. They're T8 on these. They're T10 now, so you don't have to worry about goofy little T8 screws. These are apparently also not hardened, but in the new edition, they're hardened, so that you don't have to worry about stripping your screws as easily. So, all of that out of the way, what do I think of it? It is good. That's all. It's good. It's not great. It's not phenomenal. It's not the best thing I've ever handled, but it does have one really key advantage, and that is that it is a perfect starting point. This is really genuinely, in my opinion, the best place to start. Squid Industries has the squiddy, right? Plastic squiddy, and it is $50-ish and goes up a little bit depending on if you want a squiddy B or O or U or whatever letters they're on right now. This is $65 on Amazon. So this is really where the Vulp shines. It's the value proposition, it's the availability, it's the fact that this is, in my opinion, the perfect starting point. This is just blows every other equivalent out of the water, right? Why would you spend $50 on a plastic squiddy when you could spend an extra $15 and get an aluminum handled balisong that comes with extra hardware and pivots and thread locker and lube? It doesn't make sense for me to recommend a squiddy to anyone at this point, with the one exception being if you are giving it to a very small child who you cannot even trust with a dull metal tool, or if you're flipping in an environment where you don't want to risk denting the floor maybe, or if you're going to take it on an airplane and be a person flipping in an airport, which is the only time a squiddy really has an advantage, is the fact that it is the most non-threatening looking thing ever of all time. So if you're looking for an actual real starting point though, you cannot go wrong with the Vulp. It has great balance. It has really great handle design. That was embarrassingly bad. It's got great handle design. It actually functions as a bottle opener, which is always handy to get a little extra utility out of things. It comes with great starting supplies. Even the little extra paperwork it comes with explains the concept of bushings as well as some maintenance stuff. Will Hirsch, Brandon Baker, and Nabalis really knocked it out of the park as far as setting the new standard for where to start. That's what it is. This is not the best balisong on the market. It is the best starting point on the market. It will not compete with anything high tier, but as far as getting comfortable, oh, look at that. That aerial would have sliced the shit out of my fingers, but I don't have to worry because it's a trainer. But it's not just a trainer, it's a trainer that has really similar balance to a live blade, as opposed to something like a squiddy, which is in its competitive price range. So that's where we're at with the Nabalis Vulp. It is really genuinely the perfect starting point. I know I've said that a few times. I just feel like I need to reiterate it. Perfect starting point. I've enjoyed playing with it as a mediocre intermediate flipper. I really have. I prefer something like my Nautilus over it, but the Nautilus is 3 times the price, essentially. Yeah, roughly 3 times the price, which obviously is not a good starting point. Don't start with something that's in the upper 200 price range or the low 180s, whatever. Don't start there. Start with something like this on Amazon. 2-day shipping, almost always in stock, especially now they're kind of ramping up production and have realized where the demand for these is. Again, it comes with all these great supplies. It feels great. It's got everything you really need to start with. It's the perfect starting point. Not the perfect balisong, the perfect starting point. That's really been it. Coming up in a little bit, we'll have some new reviews coming out as well. We will be talking about the Nabalis. We'll be talking about the Stitch Steel Alien. We'll talk about the Stitch Steel Paradigm. And maybe we'll talk about Carbon Honey Balisong Oil. I've got some of that arriving later today, actually. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff coming up that we're going to be doing and talking about. And with any luck, I'll actually release these on a slightly more normal schedule. That's been it for now. Thank you so much for listening to me kind of ramble about this. The Vulp, the perfect starting point if you're new to the hobby, or if you're trying to get someone into it. You can't go wrong. Thank you. See you next time.